Hello everybody. Welcome to Mountain Made Creations. I'm so excited to be here. I say that every single time I hop on here, but I really am excited to be with you guys today. So I don't know what it's like where you are, but it is foggy and cold raining here. It may be some ice, I'm not sure, but it's a good day to craft and stay inside. So welcome to Mountain Made Creations. Welcome to all the new members in the group or on the page. If you're watching this on Facebook, I would love it, love it, love it. If you would comment, let me know where you're watching from, what you're doing today, and all that fun stuff. If you're catching this on YouTube, I'd love it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So with that being said, we're going to get started with I'm going to try to do two crafts today. I'm going to work on one, and then while that one's drying, I'm going to work on the other one. So hopefully we'll be able to get them both done, and it won't take that long. They're going to be so cute, you guys. But I want to share this live out on into my private group, Jill's Creative Side. If you want to join that group, I would love to have you. That's just where we share all the fun stuff, and it's just a good place to share your crafts, what you're working on, and this, that, and the other. And so I'm going to share this out there so they can all see it as well. All right, so we're going to be using all kinds of different things today. First off, I'm going to be making a little Valentine sign, and this is probably going to be for my niece because she loves Valentine's Day. She loves hearts. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking this sign that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint the back. Now, I will cover this with a piece of felt. I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm not going to sand it because it's going to be covered with felt, and it'll look really cute. We're going to paint this side. I'm going to paint it gray using chalk paint, folk art chalk paint in gray. I can't even read what kind of gray that is, but it's a real pretty light gray, and I'm pretty sure I got this this came from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to paint this with the gray, and then I'm going to go over it with a stencil, and this is going to be done, and the hearts are going to be done in pink. And then I'm going to use a Mylar stencil that I just cut on my Cricut for the bottom, and that's going to also be done in, I don't know if it's going to be done in this color pink or I think it's going to be this, and that's probably what I'll use for the hearts as well. But I'm going to do that at the bottom, and I'm probably going to do the hearts all over it and then put this at the bottom, hopefully. Actually, that's not going to work out. Well, I'm going to paint it gray first, and then we'll just move along and see. I may just do the hearts from this point up, so we'll figure that out. The next craft we're going to do is a spring sign, which I'm so ready for spring. But we're going to be using these cute little wooden tags from Magnolia Design, and I'm going to have them probably glued together. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. But one of them is going to be painted in yellow with this stencil all over this part. And then on the front, we're going to do the Hello Spring, and it's probably going to be in maybe this blue or this coral color. I'm not sure yet. I'll know more when I get it painted. So with this, we're going to be using this Mylar stencil on this part. So we're using a little bit of everything. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these painted, and then I'm going to sit them in front of the fan and let them dry. But while I'm going to paint this one, let it be drying while I paint this one, and then vice versa. That way, hopefully, I think we can get them all done. I'm going to be using folk art chalk paint. I'm going to be using Magnolia Design chalk paste, and I think that's it. I have some stencil brushes. These all came from Dollar Tree, and I hope they work. My good one is wet, so you can't use a wet one. And then this one. So let's get started, y'all. So first off, I'm going to paint this in the gray, and I'm going to be using, I'm going to start with a foam brush just to see, because I didn't want to get out my roller, so we're going to see if I can make this look good without brush strokes, because y'all know I don't like brush strokes. Maybe on some things, but not on this. So let me get something to put my paint in, which I thought I had everything ready, and I can grab that real quick. But let's see. We're gonna paint this in gray. We're gonna let this be drying. I don't even know if I've used this one or not. No, I have not. What are you guys up to today? Are y'all doing anything fun? The weather here yesterday was really nice, and it was chilly, but it was nice. The wind had calmed down and the sun was out. But today we had some ice this morning, and then now it's just foggy, and I'm pretty sure the fog is frozen because I think it's 30 degrees here. So that's what we're doing here. Staying warm. All right, let me grab something to pour this paint in. Hang on. I don't know about you guys, but we save our egg crates, and I reuse them for painting and everything. I'll tell you what, the price of eggs has really gone up. It's insane. All right, so I'm just going to pour a little bit of this paint on here, and then we're going to go over. I don't know if it's going to take 1 coat or 2 coats, but we'll see. And these are just fun, easy little crafts to do. I'm hoping to have my niece up here and do a craft with her because I have something really fun I think she'll love. So we're gonna just spit some, I'm just using a foam brush, and I'm gonna just start going over this. I don't normally use foam brushes, but it may be a good thing without having the brush strokes. That's what I'm trying to get away from. So I'm just going over it with the gray paint, and then I'll sit it. I have a fan in my craft room that I sit things in front of to dry. Now, I don't like to use heat with the chalk paint because it can cause it to crack. And I mean, you can do that look if that's what you're going for. That would be pretty, but I'm not going for that on this one today. So, and I'm kind of liking the foam brush. I can see some brush strokes, but it's not bad. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, we're gonna put a cute little bow on this. Got the ribbon all picked out, and then on the spring one, I may use some tulips. I'm not sure. I love tulips, and I'm just so ready for, I know we've still got a long ways to go for winter, but I'm ready to do something with some pretty colors and spring. All right, so I'm just gonna go over this really light to try to get out any brush strokes that I see, and then I'm gonna put it in front of the fan, and we're gonna paint the other one, and that's how we're gonna do this. So hopefully it's gonna dry. So this is what we have so far in the gray. That gray is really pretty. All right, I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, so Magnolia has these little tags that are so cute. I just love them. And I'm just using some old cardboard to paint on. Move my stencils out of the way. I've really been loving these Mylar stencils, you guys. They are very affordable. They're not as expensive as some of the Magnolia and the Icon art. They're not that expensive, but the Mylars are a good route for me to go if I'm just doing something that I don't want to spend a lot of money on making a stencil, or something like that. So that's where that comes in to make it affordable. Okay, so we're going to do this in yellow, and I'm just going to paint these with the foam brush just like the other one, and I may use this one too. And so this is Folk Art chalk paint in summer porch. And this is a really pretty yellow. And I think it would be pretty to do the hello in maybe this really pretty color blue, and then the spring in this color, or maybe the pink is what I'm thinking. But something springy. I'm so ready for spring. So what have you guys been up to? Have y'all been making anything? Good grief. Maybe I'll be able to get this open, maybe not. All right, let me try to get this open. When this chalk paint dries, it is so hard to get open. All right, hang on guys, I'll be right back. May have to choose another color if I can't get the lid off. There we go. Whew. When that stuff dries, it is hard to get that off of there. All right, so I'm just gonna pour some in here. And we're gonna get going on this. See what this looks like. These are the cutest tags to use as door hangers. They're really, really cute. I'm hoping, and I think they do, that Magnolia does have some little bunnies surfaces, and if they still have them, I have to get them because you guys know I'm crazy about that stuff. But we don't really decorate a whole lot for Valentine's Day, but I know that my niece, she loves hearts, so I thought I would make her something for her room. Let's see. All right, so let's just go over this. What is that? And these are just really easy fun crafts to do some decorating. Just something different. All right, this paint dries really fast, so that's a good thing. Whoa. All right, and I'm thinking about putting some flowers on this one. I'm not sure. I have to see what it looks like when we get it done. It may not need them, but it's definitely going to get a bow. And I have some really cute ribbon that came from Sam's Club. They have some really nice ribbon. I don't know if they have it still. I know at Christmas time they actually had a bunch left over, which I was surprised. They normally sell out fast because it's good ribbon, it's a lot of it, and it's a really good price. So all right, so I've got these painted. I'm gonna take them over there, put them in front of the fan, and then I'll bring that other one back over here because it'll probably be dry. So that's what we have so far. So let me grab the other one. Yep, so I'm gonna go back over this, I think with I don't know, it may not really need another coat. That covered it pretty good. Let me show you guys. So that's what we have. I think I'll just leave it because it looks pretty good like that. So I need to make sure that it's dry all the way before I stick a stencil on it. I think I can hit it with the hair dryer and speed that up, but I use it on cool setting. I don't use heat, like I said, because it makes it crack. And I'm not really going for that look. put this on cool. And I do believe I'm going to go over this with some wax just so that the stencil doesn't stick too much and then it stretches when I try to pull it up or pulls the paint up, so, since I just painted it. So let me grab that. And this is the Magnolia Design wax, and this has no smell, and it's MDC wax. And it's quicker than, like, normally I would seal this, but I don't have time to do that, and plus it smells terrible. So I'm just going to go over it with some wax. And that will keep it from pulling the paint up, hopefully, and making my stencil stretch when I put it down and try to pull it back up. So that's what I'm doing, is just putting the wax on, and then I'm just going over it again with paper towel so that it gets all that residue off of there. And the paint did dry really fast because it's not coming up on the paper towel. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I've got to figure out how far down I want the hearts to come and how I need to make a line on here so I'll know how far the stencil needs to come down. Because I don't want the hearts to be where the I Love You More is, because it won't show up good because of the colors. I'm going to be using the same colors. So I'm just going to make a line, and that way I'll know to put the stencil down to that line, and that's it. And so I just marked that with chalk. I don't know if you guys can see that. And before I use the stencil, it's brand new, so I'm gonna fuzz it. And what that means is just to take some of the sticky off of the stencil so it doesn't stretch when I pull it up, because if you put this on wood, it'll stick really, really good, and I don't want it to pull the paint up or stretch my stencil. And by doing that, it will still, once you wash it and it dries, the stickiness will come back. So it's not like you're getting rid of the sticky forever. And like, I don't use I don't fuzz them when I'm using it on fabric, because you really don't need to. So I'm gonna write on the back of the stencil back, just so I know what side to stick the stencil back on once it's clean, because if you stick it on the wrong side, it can ruin your stencil. So this is a larger of the stencils that Magnolia has, and it is called Hearts Pattern, and it's 15 by 15. And so I'm just going to try to pull part of this up. Sometimes it's tricky to work with a stencil this big, sometimes because it will stick to itself, and I've done that before, and that's such a nightmare. Like I said, it's a brand new stencil. All right, here we go. And these stencils are reusable. So once you use it, I just look, and it just stuck to itself. Oh my goodness sakes. Does anybody else have this issue, or is it just me? Okay, that wasn't quite as bad as before. I've done this before, and it was a nightmare. Once I use the stencil, I'll wash it, or I'll put it in this tub of water that I have back here while I'm on this live, so it doesn't, the paint won't dry in the stencil, because if the paint dries in your stencil, it can damage it, so we don't want to do that. And so I'm just fuzzing it, and I'm doing one side at a time, because, like I said, it sticks to itself, just like that, and I don't want to stretch it. actually ruined a stencil doing that before. I don't want to ruin this one. And so I'm just putting it on this cloth. You can fuzz it on your jeans, on a towel, anything that doesn't have lint, you can fuzz it on. And I just pull it up and then put it back down a few times to get some of that sticky off of there. And that's all you do to fuzz it. And I'm going to do both sides because I'm not sure how much I'll need. And if you are working with a bigger stencil and it does get stuck to itself, if you run water on it, you can get it loose without stretching it. But I didn't want to do that since I'm on a live and I need to use the stencil because the stencil needs to be dry for you to use it. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can do this. Oh yeah, I'll have plenty. All right, so what I'm doing is lining the stencil up to where my chalk was. And then I'm going to lay it down. And that doesn't even want to stick. Probably because Alright, I'm going to have to take all this off so I can see what I'm doing, and I hope I don't get it stuck to itself. Okay, there we go. And it's probably not going to stick a lot to this since I waxed it, and that's good. So once I get it to where I want it, I'm just going to put it down, brandish it, make sure there's no hard spaces or anything funky underneath the stencil to cause it to bleed. And I'm going to do the hearts all the way up through the handle. And then once I'm done, I will put it in that tub of water. And the wax is really good for it not sticking too much to your surface, like on this wood. Okay, so I'm going to go over that with the pink. And this is called Sugar Plum Chalk Paste by Magnolia. Really, really pretty color. I don't even think I've used this yet. Yeah, I have. Okay. So I'm just going to take a little stir and stir it up. And when you use their chalk paste, because chalk paste is a lot thicker than chalk paint, you want to make sure that you spritz a little bit of water in there, distilled water. It needs to be distilled water, before you put the lid back on, because if you don't, it can dry up and then you won't be able to use it again. So just remember to do that every so often. So I'm just going to put a little bit of pink on there, and I'm just going to go ahead and start putting it down. And I'm not using any pressure at all. I'm just going over it. I'm using this squeegee as just to push the paint through the stencil, but I'm not using any pressure. I had issues with finding out about that when I first started using chalk paste, you know, on the pressure and how much to use and all that. And I think I was pushing too hard, which you can, and that can cause it to bleed. Also, you don't want to keep going over the same areas over and over again, because that can also cause a bleed. This is a really pretty color. I really like it. I think Nevaeh is going to love this, because her favorite color is pink, and she loves hearts. We have a little saying, me and her, that you can never have too many hearts. Alright, so now I'm just going to go back over it real light and get all the lines out where the squeegee went on the stencil, the little lines. So I'm just going to get those off. And then I'm gonna pull it up a little bit, make sure I didn't miss anything, and then if I did, I can lay it back down. Oh my goodness, this is adorable. Okay, that looks good, 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 good. So I'm just gonna put this over here in this tub of water. And okay, and once I'm done here and off the live, I'll wash that out with just regular water. But once it soaks in that tub of water, it's really good to go most of the time. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put down this part. Oh, let me show you what it looks like, you guys. Oh my gosh, it is so stinking cute. I think she's gonna love this. How adorable is that? I love using the stencils because you get that crisp line. It's just amazing. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this down. And I'm just lining up the bottom of the word more. And I cut this on my Cricut. So I got the design, I got this design, and then I put it in my Cricut and cut this. This is a Mylar stencil, and that's got paint on it. Let me dry that off with a little bit of this. Now, one thing that I have never done is I've not used chalk paste with these stencils, so I'm not sure how it's going to work, but we're going to try it and see. So I'm just going to try to get this centered best that I can. And y'all know I have struggles with centering. I'm thinking that this is going to be okay. Let's just see. All right, I'm just going to wing it. And I think that looks good. And I'm going to take some painter's tape and tape this stencil down because I don't want it to move while I'm stenciling. And I don't even know if this painter's tape is going to stick on that wax. I hope so. I may have to take some of that wax off of there. So far, so good. Okay. When you're using the Mylar stencils, you want to make sure and use a dry brush. So I'm going to use this dry brush. It's more for stencils. It's pretty firm and it's kind of flat. I don't know if y'all can tell. And I'm just going to go over it lightly with not a lot of paint. And like I said, I'm using this chalk paste, so I'm not sure. Maybe I should use the light pink. I think that might be better. I'm going to try to use the Vintage Victorian pink. That way it's two different color pinks. It's not the same. I think that would be really cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab a little bit from my lid onto the paintbrush. That's way too much paint. So I'm going to dab it on this paper towel and let that paint get in those bristles really good. And then I'm just going to start going over the stencil. And I'm not going to use the pouncing motion this time. I'm going to try just using the brush, motion and see. Like I said, this is not the normal brush I normally use, so I need some more paint. And I'm kind of holding the stencil as I'm doing this. And I'm just kind of going in circular motions. And on these, I need to be careful because the O, the inside of the O, I don't want that to come up. And you want to keep your brush straight up and down when you're doing it. And make sure that your stencil doesn't move. Like the inside of that O wants to come up. So I'm just holding it down with my finger. Okay. Same with the V. It's got an inside, so I don't want that to come up. I may just have to do the pouncing on these. This brush is kind of weird. I'm hoping that didn't bleed, but we'll look and see. It can always be fixed, for sure. And you can wash these Mylar stencils and reuse them. That may be. I'm just holding that down, that little part of the inside of the E, because it wanted to lift up. So I'm going to do the tapping motion. That's what I'm used to doing. Because I don't want it to bleed under that letter. And when I made these stencils, you have to make, like, anything that has like the inside of the letter, like the E has the little inside, the O has the inside. You want to, you have to make, in Cricut, the little line so it stays connected when you pull the stencil up, or this, you'll lose part of your letter. And I'll show you what I mean when I pull it up. I really don't like this brush, but that's okay. I know this is definitely going to need more paint, but I don't want to do too much and then ruin it, because you can always go back and do more. So if you guys have tried the Mylar stencil, let me know what you think about it. Do you like it, or is it not your thing? I know the mesh stencils are super easy. These are easy too. I'm just, this brush is just different. Yeah, I know I have paint all over my hand, but it comes right up, so don't worry about that. That's why I keep tons of baby wipes, tons and tons. So I'm going to go back over this some more because I can't even see where I did these. I did such light paint. I just don't want to use too much paint and then have it bleed, but we can always go back and fix it. You can also use one of these to dab on your paint as well, but I was afraid to use that because it would lift up some of my letters. So that's why I chose not to do that. You can also use makeup sponge. I've used those when I've used different types of stencils that I printed on the Cricut, or that I cut on my Cricut when I did my signs. And so that's also an option. I may have to go over this with the darker pink because this light pink is not showing up very good. But it might on the gray. We'll have to see. I don't think it is showing up very good. So I may just sit this to let it dry, and then we'll see where we're at, and then if I need to go over it again. But I think I'm gonna have to use a darker color because it doesn't look like it's showing up very good. But it might. I've actually seen somebody put the stencil down, use the same color paint as your background, go over it just like I'm doing here, and then let it dry, and then go over it with the color that you chose, like the pink, and it keeps it from bleeding, and it sticks. The stencil will be stuck to it. So I may try that on the other one and see if that doesn't work better. I think I am going to try that on the other one. I think it'll be easier. All right, I'm going to stop with that. I'm going to sit that to the side and wash my hand off because I don't think that's dark enough. That's what I'm thinking. So I may go over that once it dries with the chalk paste and see if that doesn't do better. I've got paint all over me. Okay. I just don't want to get paint on where I don't want it. All right, so I'll pick it up and show you what we have so far. And I'm just going to let that dry with the stencil on there, and then I'll pull it up and see if it needs more. If it needs darker, we'll go ahead and do dark. Hang on, let me grab the other project. Hang on. All right, let's see what we have. See if we need to go over it with another coat. I think we do. Let me just get a couple of those little things off. I don't know, it might be okay. And I'm not going to use the wax on this one, and just see what happens. So one of them, the background one, I'm going to use the stencil. This is called Flower Power, and it is a 12 by 12. And this is also Magnolia, so I'm going to put that on the back of that one. And then I'm going to do the Hello Spring on the other one. And thinking that that will be it, because I'm thinking I might want to put some flowers or a big bow up there. So that'll probably be all. And what I was showing or talking about the letters, like when I cut this, if I didn't put like a little line on the O, the inside of the O would be missing. So you have to, in Cricut, you have to put like a little line. You get your shape, you pick a square, and then you make it small to like a little line, and you go from up here down to the inside, and then when it cuts it, there's a little bit of a dash in between there. And that will allow it to cut the whole letter out without losing the inside of your letter. And then I'll go back over it with a real small detail brush and just paint that little dot that it didn't get in, and it works perfect. So I'm gonna have to fuzz this because I'm not gonna wax that. We're gonna see how it works without waxing it. Maybe a big mistake, but I'm just, actually, I think that would be all right because I'm not putting anything else on that one. So I better go ahead and wax it, just so I don't mess up my stencil. Normally we could just spray some sealer over it and be done, but that you have to let it wait, and it stinks, and you have to do it outside, and it's raining, so we're just going to go over it with this wax. And I'm not using a lot, and then you want to make sure you buff it all in really good, just to get all the excess off. All right. Now I'm gonna fuzz the stencil. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Something different, and it's just a good day to be inside and crafting. So I like hanging out with you guys. It's always fun. And this stencil is a little bit easier to deal with. Some of those bigger stencils, they can be a real problem. So do I want to use, I think I'm going to use, let me just see how much of the stencil I can get on here. All right. And so I may have to just, well, this part up here is probably going to be hidden anyway, so. And you just want to just go over it really good, make sure you don't have any air bubbles or any kind of something that's sticking up on your surface like that. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use, let's see, I guess I'm gonna use this. This is called Mulberry chalk paste. This is super pretty. I think that's gonna, actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna do different colors. Yeah, let's do that. It's called the Messy, I'm not sure what the actual name is, but we're gonna call it the Messy stencil. And I'm just gonna put dots all the way around with this color. Like that. Then I'm gonna go with, I think, some blue. This is really, really pretty. And I'm just gonna go around, put some blue in there. Hopefully this will be pretty. This is called Tiffany Teal. And then I'm gonna use the Living Coral. Really pretty color. I didn't think I had used that before. So let's open this up. Grab another spatula. This is really pretty. I love coral. I hope this turns out. I just decided this at the last minute. That's just how it goes when you're crafting. An idea hits you and you just go for it. That's the beauty of it. Alright, hopefully that's enough paint. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little spatula and I'm just going to go around and spread the paint around, and hopefully it's going to work out and not be a blobby mess. I don't know, y'all. I hope it's pretty. But if it's not, we can cover it and then we can do the other side. Alright, so let me lift and see if I've got everything covered. I don't want to keep going and put all the paint together and make it a really ugly mess. Oh, wow. Y'all, that's amazing. I had no idea it was going to come out like that. Oh my. Let me just get this in the water real quick and I'll pick it up and show you. Y'all, this is amazing. I had no idea it would look like that. Ah. I'm so excited. Look at that, y'all. How pretty is that? Oh my goodness. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Look how crisp those lines are. So I'm telling you, sometimes when you just have something hit you, it turns out. So I'm super excited about that. That is really awesome. All right, so let me get the other one over here. We'll stencil the words on that one, and then we'll work on the other one, and then we'll make the bows, then we'll be done. Okay, let me set that out of the way and bring this one over here. I'm so excited, y'all. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape this down. And see, I didn't get a line. I did have a line on that, but it didn't cut it. So I'm gonna just have to do that manually, like just put a little dot in the center of it. But I think it's gonna be just fine. So I'm just gonna tape this one down, and we're gonna try for that. We're gonna use this color, and I'm hoping that it's gonna come out. I may use blue or something different for the spring part. I don't know. We'll just see. Let me see how the mulberry goes. Hopefully it's gonna work. Okay. Cross your fingers, y'all. let me get a paper towel, and I'm going to use my better stencil brush for this, and I pray that it works because it's so pretty. So far it's been really pretty. So I'm just going to take, let me use one of these, put some paint in there, and see how this works. So just put a little paint in there, and I'm just going to get some on the brush and dab it off. Like I said, I've not used the chalk paste before doing this, so it should work. Oh yeah, this looks good. Oh, and I've got a bristle that wants to be difficult. And I'm dabbing this because I don't want that stencil to lift, and I'm afraid if I brush it on, that stencil will move. So I'm just going to dab it and hope for the best. It looks like it's doing pretty good. This chalk paste might be the ticket for these stencils. We'll just have to see how it goes. And with chalk paste, it's not permanent until you seal it. So if this was a big mess, I could always pull it up and wash it and start over. Now, I wouldn't do that with you guys on live because that would just take way too much time. But that's an option. If something did happen and it was really a mess, then that's what we could do. There's all kinds of options when you're crafting. There's all different ways to fix mistakes. It's just having fun, forgetting about all the craziness in the world, and just making something cute. I love doing it. I love crafting with you guys, and if I can ever help anybody, that's amazing. It's a good feeling if you can help somebody. I'm gonna try at some point to do a video of how to make the stencil in Cricut and show you guys what I was talking about the little lines. But we'll see if I can get that done. I've started a new venture with my with jewelry that I'm loving. I'm gonna go ahead and use this color on the whole thing instead of changing colors, just to see what it looks like. And you know what? I told y'all guys I was gonna do the yellow first, and I didn't. I forgot all about it. That is a-okay. This is working. I just hope it looks all right when I pull it up. And I'm not going to pull the stencil up until it dries some, because I've done that previously and it was a mistake. I should let it dry some before I pull the stencil up. And I'm not going to use the hairdryer because that blows the stencil some, and I really don't want to blow it. And my brush is coming apart. Always on a live. It's always fun on a live, right guys? That's how we learn. And I did learn making these stencils that I should, even if it's a cursive, to connect the letters or to make that little line, even just so it stays together, because I know that it's kind of not staying together like it should. And I think I can fix that, but I just have to work with it and see. All right, guys, so now I'm gonna put this under the fan, bring that other one over here, and see what that looks like. hopefully that it will look all right. But I think we're gonna have to do the darker color over that pink, but we're gonna see. So hang on, I'll be right back. Oh, let me show you what we did. So that's what it looks like so far. Praying that it works. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be too light, and we're going to have to pick that up some. Let me grab some glue sticks. Got my glue gun on, and I think it's out of glue. There we go. All right, so I'm going to pull this up really slow, and I'm thinking that yeah, I'm not liking how that turned out. So here's what well, that was chalk paint. All right, so what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go over it with this. I'm not liking how some of that turned out because it bled some, but I think I can fix it. My brush is falling apart. But I'm gonna go over it with this mulberry color and see if I can help it any. Help it to look a little bit better because it did bleed. So I'm not happy about that. But I think we can fix it. And if nothing else, after it dries, we can go over it with sandpaper a little bit, and that may help a little. So let's try this. And I'm just going to dab it because I think brushing it made it go under the stencil and bleed. But I think this is going to look a lot better with the darker color. Not sure exactly what it's going to look like, but it's going to look better than what I just saw, because that was not looking good at all. So if you have a method that works best for you, stick with it, because I tried to change it and I don't know, I think it might have been the brush, could have been numerous things. The way I was doing it. And I'm going to let this dry some before I pull it up, because I've messed them up doing that as well. But I like this color mulberry. It's really pretty. I think it's going to look good on that gray. And then we can make a bow, and then we'll be done. But I love, love, love all the little hearts on there. I think it's really cute. On the gray, I think it looks really pretty. Just something different, gray and pink. I think what works best is if you use the background color first, it dries the stencil sort of to the surface, and then when you're doing the paint that you want to show up, it's going to keep that stencil to the surface. It's going to like be attached sort of, you know, dry dry on there, and it keeps it from lifting, so that will keep it from bleeding. So I wished I would have remembered to do it on the other one, but I didn't. I forgot. That's all right. We live and we learn. And if I don't like the way this looks, what I can do is sand it and repaint it and then start all over again. If I don't think I can fix it where it bled. But we're gonna see what it looks like with the darker over it before I decide to do that, because I'd hate to have to redo it. But I can. That's the thing about crafting. You can always start over. So what do you guys like to eat on the weekends when it's cold and rainy? We are having leftover Frank's subs and french fries. These are like our favorite. So we're almost done with this one. We'll put it over there to dry, and then we'll start on the other one. Okay, it looks like it covered it really good, so I'm going to stop with that, get the other one over here. And see what that one looks like. Hopefully it turned out. But this is going to be really cute, I think. And I'll show you what we have so far. So this is what we have so far. And we'll set this to dry, and then we'll grab the other one. All right, let's see what this looks like. I see some places I think I need to go over again, but I'm gonna pull the tape and see. And then I can lay it back down. You just wanna make sure when you do this, you wanna lay it back down right where it needs to go. Actually, I think I'm going to leave it, because if I go over it a little bit with some sandpaper, I think that would look cute. So, pull this up. I'm going to put this in the water as well. That way I can rinse that off. And I'll show it to you. I think it's going to be really cute. So there's the Hello Spring, and you can see in between the paint's not connected, and I'm going to go back and fix that with a small detail brush. But I think this is going to be super cute. Like this. I think it's going to be super cute. So let's work on a bow for this. Thought about using this ribbon, and it is from Sam's Club, and this is 50 yards, and it was like $6.98 or $7.98. So cute. But let me see what colors. I don't know if I like that or the bicycle, which I think the bicycle is pretty cute. Let me see. I have another roll of that. I think looks better. I like this better. So let's make us a quick bow. I think that would look cute on this. I think the colors look all right. I'm thinking. So let's just do this. Maybe we could put some pink in there with it. So let's see what kind of bow I'm gonna do. Okay. I'm gonna do it upside down because I think that's how I get it to where the spikes are coming the right way. I always have to think when I'm doing these type bows. Yeah. All right, so I'm taking the ribbon and I've got it upside down to begin with. That makes it where the bicycles are in the right, going in the right direction, that the bicycles on the bow are upside down. Took me forever to kind of figure that out. All right, so I'm just gonna lay the bow down just like this. I'm gonna kind of scrunch it right here. I need that. Now I'm gonna scrunch this, and then I'm gonna move it right up here on top and scrunch that. Make sure I have it even. That looks pretty even. I'm gonna use some twine. Actually, I'm just gonna put that to the side. We're gonna do a couple more ribbon, or a couple more bows to go on top of that one. So I'm gonna do a little bit smaller. I love these kind of ribbons, or these kind of bows. All right, so I'm just scrunching that. Then I'm gonna scrunch this one. And we can go back and fix it. And that's a little bit small, but I'll use that as on top. So now I need another medium size. So I'm gonna have three of them. 3 little bows on top of each other. So I'm gonna scrunch this, and scrunch that one, and then I'll put it on top of the other one. So I'm going to scrunch this, and scrunch that. Then we're going to put this one on top of that one. And then we're going to put the smaller one on top of that one. So we're going to have 3. And I'm probably going to cut the tails off of all of them except the back one. But we're going to tie some twine around that. Are you guys into football? Are you guys liking the football? We've been watching a lot of football here lately since the playoffs and all that has been on, so it's been kind of fun. All right, I'm gonna make sure I have that. That looks all right. So I'm gonna tie this in a knot. This off, and then we can fluff the bow. And we may put some flowers with this on the tags because I think that would be really pretty. So I'm just going to cut this one off. Yeah. because I can hide that. So I'm going to cut this tail off. And this tail off. And I just want the bottom two. Oh, that just came undone. All right, let's start over, guys. Cut it, that's why. All right, let me fix this real quick. Put that right back there. And then tie it again. All right. Tie this in the middle again. I cut that one too short and I messed that bow up on that smallest one. All right, now cut this one off. I should have just did the other kind of bow, but this is working. All right, so let me dovetail these. I'm not even sure I'm liking this bow after all that. And you know what? I did that bicycle upside down. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're not going to use that kind of bow. Let's do... Let's do the different bow. Sorry, you guys. All right, so that's a good length for that one. So we're gonna do a different kind of bow. And it's easy, so. It's gonna be 3 strands, just like what we had. I'm gonna make sure the bicycles are all facing the right way. And I'm just going to glue them together. I'm going to fold them just like that. I'm going to glue it. Just like that. I'm going to do this one the same way. I want to make sure I got them the same length before I glue anything. Or I can make them a little bit shorter, like that. And glue that one. This is what I should have done in the first place. All right, so then we have those, and then we're gonna make this one a little bit smaller to go on the top. So I kind of want them different sizes. Yeah, just like that. So I'm going to glue this one. Just like that. Then we're going to bring them together, tie a piece of twine around the center, and that's it. So I've got the bicycles all going the right way. just going to scrunch them in the center, just like that. I'm going to go around with the twine. Tie another knot. Excuse me. And then we can fluff it and see what it looks like, and then get some flowers around it. I think the twine is making me cough. And so we just got like a little loop bow. And then we can also put some tails on there. So this is what we have so far, just a little loop bow, and we can do some tails. We don't want them really long because we don't want to cover up the whole thing. So I'm just going to fold it in the center. I'm going to scrunch it, and then I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to tie another piece of twine around the tail and the bow. Just like that. Now we got some little tails, got a cute bow, and then we will put this with some flowers. I'm going to dovetail it. And like I said, I don't want it too long. I think that one's too long. Cut this one off a little bit more. Then we can take a piece and, well, actually the twine looks cute on there like that. So this is what we have. And so we can put this just like that. And we could put a little bit of some pink. So we can take these pink tulips, and I think these will be super cute. Just add a little something to it. That's cute, y'all. So, so cute. Just add the little tulips there. And I think that would be so cute. So let's do that. Looks super cute. All right, so let me staple that. And if the staple goes all the way through, that's okay. We can fix that. And I don't even know if that's going to hold it. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to glue it too. Put some glue there. That's super cute. All right, let me glue some of the bow. We'll glue that right there. This is so cute. And then we'll glue the tags together and How cute is that, you guys? So, so cute. So then we can take the tags and kind of glue them like this. Let's see. Like that. How cute is that, you guys? So, so cute. Okay, so there's that one, and I want to put some sealer on that before I glue them down to each other, but that's what this one's going to look like, you guys. What do you think? So cute. Let me grab the other one, and then we will be done. I know this is taking a lot longer than expected. So here's this one. So I'm going to pull that up, and if I don't like the way it looks, I'm probably going to have to redo it. But hopefully. Yeah, I'm not loving this. So I'm probably going to have to redo it. But I will show it to you because it is kind of cute. And I think what I need to do, like I said, I learn every time I do a craft, is I need to paint it gray and then put the stencil down. Do that in the same background color and then go back over with the color, because you can see where the pink, the first coat bled on the M. So yeah, but it's gonna be really cute once we get it finished. But what I'll do is I will probably sand it and then redo the whole thing, and then I'll post a picture of it, because I don't like it with that pink, the underneath pink showing. And I think the ticket is to paint first with the background color and then go over it with the color you want to use. I think that would work better, because it's going to make that stencil stick to it, and that's pretty much what you want. You want it to stick to it, so so that it doesn't bleed. So anyway, at least we got one done, and I will show you guys once I get it sealed and hung up. I'll post a picture of that. Now my phone's not gonna stay up. So anyways, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I hope you have a really good week moving ahead. So you guys take care, and thank you guys so much for sticking with me so long today. Thank you guys. Y'all take care.